Hi guys, we are front. Hello Harry, how are you, bro?
Definitely front.
Definitely front, definitely front. Why are we front instead of back? Guys, we've had some pretty cool comments. We've had some awesome comments from you guys, and always thought-provoking. And one thing that I want to go through this week is some pretty mind-blowing idea when it comes to perception. Now, you know that we usually start our videos by saying, hi guys, we are back. So why we are front? Well, I don't know if you can see this. Right now, if I am looking at this XI, right, I'm looking at this and you're standing behind me or sitting next to me, you are seeing exactly what I'm seeing, okay, which is XI. But if, like Harry now, Harry's opposite me, if Harry was here and he walked up, so he's facing me, he would see that, right? I'm seeing that, XI, but Harry being opposite me, looking down, is going to see the IX. So the question is, duality. Does that represent duality, Harry? What do you think?
Of course it does. It's one aspect of duality.
It's precisely, it's an aspect of duality. So let me go ahead and share the screen, and we'll get into this, and I'll try and explain what we mean. So duality is not always what we think it is or what you think it is. This is what we consider to be duality: black and white, up and down, left and right, good and bad. Now, you remember, Harry, when we did our presentation on the sixth realm, the 666, you know, this was one of the images that we showed. So imagine I am sitting, reading this or looking at this advert, laid by the best. You can't make it up. And you're sitting next to me, or you are behind me looking over my shoulder. You are going to see exactly what I'm looking at. But if you walk up in front of me and look down, you're going to see that. And we had some people say, oh, I don't get it, because the head's there. But if you remove the head, I mean, come on, guys, it's blatantly obvious what it is. Now, in the last podcast, Harry, we talked about the name Sherlock. Sherlock being 30, Sherlock being 91. None of us, anybody that I've ever spoken to, or no one that I've ever spoken to, has ever met anyone in their life called Sherlock. Now, what did Sherlock do? Sherlock was an investigator, wasn't he? A private detective. And 30 features a lot in our last presentation. And also here, guys, don't forget, we've got the 811, the 118. If you look at our last presentation, where we talk about Free Guy, it's all there, the 118. Zinc is the 30th element on the periodic table. We can't live without zinc. Zinc in Gematria in English ordinal is 52. 52 weeks in a year, 52 cards in a deck. And of course, you've got the breakdown there, even in the Chaldean, the 7 and 11. We know what that refers to. 30 is also the rabbit card, and we follow the rabbit down the rabbit's hole. Now, the 30th prime number happens to be 113. What dates, Harry, did was the thing announced last year?
Oh, the 11th day of March.
Absolutely nothing to see here. Please move along. And of course, 11 times 3 is 33, or 3 times 11, whichever way you want to do it, is 33. Entrance or entrance is 30 and also 80, and we'll explain the 80 in a few minutes. Santa Claus, 30 and 111. We talked about that going down the chimney, but we've got another connection with the 111 for you that is going to blow you away. October, 30, 111, 33. 30 and 111 and 33. But we know that octo, as in octopus, octagon means 8. So why is October the 10th month? All connected, guys. We know that Satan is 10. Okay, Satan is 10. And of course, 80. And again, we have the 118. If you've missed our last podcast, guys, go and watch it, please. The movie, we talk a lot about the movie Free Guy, which was released on August the 11th this year. 8/11 or 11/8. It's all connected. The devil is 33. From October 1, and thanks to all you guys. Thanks for your birthday wishes. Thank you very, very much. A lot of people were saying, oh, happy birthday, because October 1's my birthday. October 1 is 9 months and 1 day from the start of the year. And it also leaves 91 days remaining. Didn't we say Sherlock was 91? And of course, again, we've got the 118 and the 30. Now, you all should be familiar with this symbol. We used to spell words like encyclopedia with the conjoined A and E, and Julius Caesar with the conjoined A and E. And it's funny that Wikipedia says it's I thought it said diphthong, and diphthong is 33, but it's actually a diphthong. It's got a H in there, which is 101. And we're going to come to that at the end of this presentation, the significance of 101, because I want to know what you guys think. So in the same way that the A and the E, even though 2 separate letters, are conjoined, we're going to demonstrate that the 3 most, can we call them occult numbers, Harry?
I think you could associate all 3 of those numbers with some secret societies. Yeah.
Right. Well, we're going to show you, we're going to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that these 3 numbers are intrinsically linked. They are joined at the hip. Okay, look at the first one. If you write out the number 33, in English ordinal, it's 156. Well, 1 plus 5 plus 6 equals 12. We know there's 12 months in a year, 12 constellations. The biblical Jesus had 12 disciples. There are 12 openings in your body. 7 in the head, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and mouth. And then ladies, obviously 2 openings on their breasts, navel, and then down there. So we've got 12 openings in the body. We've got 12 constellations, and each constellation has a connection to our body. Now, if we write out 666, it comes to 156. So we have 33 written out and 666 written out. They both come to 156. Now, the 156th prime number is 911. If you don't know what a prime number is, it's basically a number that is only able to be divided by 1 or itself. So 3 would be a prime number. 1's a prime number. 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. These are numbers that can only be divided by 1 or by themselves. Well, the 156th prime number, and don't forget, we're dealing with 156 here, is 911 or 911. From September 11th until the end of the year is 15 weeks and 6 days. You see it? 156. It's also 15 weeks and 6 days, happens to be 111 days. All right, there are no coincidences. Now, again, if I'm looking at this, Harry, and you are standing opposite me, you are looking at that. Okay,
Exactly. Yes.
116. 116 minutes is 1 hour and 56 minutes. And yeah, I know I couldn't find an image showing 156. So this obviously is 155, but 106 minutes is 116 minutes is 1 hour and 56 minutes. There's your 156. Your 156 upside down would be 951. 95 weeks and 1 day is 666 days. I'll repeat that. 95 weeks and 1 day is 666 days. Now, if we look at the word six, S-I-X, we have the IX, and IX in Roman numerals is 9. And again, as I showed you at the beginning with that piece of paper, if you're looking, standing opposite me, I'm looking at XI or IX, you're seeing the reverse, which is 11. So we have the IX, the IX, the IX, which would be 999, which if I'm looking at 999, Harry's standing opposite me, he's seeing the 666. Now the S in the word six, we remove the S. S is the 19th letter. And here we have the 811 again. Okay, and also the 19. Remember, October, the first 9 months, 1 day, the 91 days remaining. Sun, the Sun card in tarot is the 19th card. And the battery in Chaldean is also 19. We are batteries. So we're looking at the, Harry's looking at the word 666. And he's seeing XIS, XIS, XIS. So 11, 11, 11. 3 11s is 33. Now, if you pick up one of those threes, turned it over and overlaid it on the other three, you would have an 8. What is an 8? The 8 is the Ouroboros, the reincarnation trap, the snake eating its own tail, which can also be represented by the 0, the beginning and the end and the beginning. Remember, entrance or entrance is not only 30, but it's 80. The 0 or the 8 and the 0. Now, I said earlier that 666 is 156. Well, look over to the right and you'll see Chaldean. In Chaldean, 666 is 9 and 33 is 11. You can't make this up. And we're all familiar with this, the all-seeing eye, which in English ordinal just happens to be 119. Okay, now I'm just throwing a couple of things in here, guys, just for you to think about based on previous comments. Now, we did a whole podcast on this. The devil card is the 15th card. Look at the top, X and V. Okay, it's the 15th card. The two people that are chained to what we said was a computer tower can easily exit those chains. They can easily slip them off their head. Well, what if that computer, or that not what appears to be a computer, what if that's a block? A block. So we've got block and chain. Doesn't a block and chain represent slavery, Harry?
Yeah, you think about you could think of it as I'm tied down to this heavy block and I can't go anywhere. But we can see that those necklaces are removable.
Yeah. So I mean, the block and chain, the ball and chain, the block and tackle. You used to work with car maintenance and car repairs. Block and tackle is the equipment used for lifting the motor out of the car, right?
Yep.
Well, chain in Chaldean is 15. This is the 15th card. And exit is 15. So for all you crypto guys out there, I know nothing about crypto, so don't attack me on this. All I'm saying is it's called blockchain. That is a block. That is a computer. You are chained, but you can exit. So I just wanted to throw that in there for those that commented. Now, I put this picture up there because I have been doing some thinking with respect to some of the comments that we've had on the last few podcasts, and not wanting to do a podcast on these questions. I just want to throw a couple of answers in there for people who have asked, and you know who you are, guys. I'm not going to mention any names without your permission. So Somebody was talking about when we, you know, how, Harry, we've been talking about the divine female and our higher self being, you know, in your case, in my case, being female energy. And if you're a lady, then your higher self is male energy. Why would men, the male species, want to subjugate the divine female? Well, the answer, guys, is quite simple. It's not how, but why. Man has always known that the female is technically superior to the male. We've talked about this at length in our previous podcast, that the woman, the female is the life bringer, you know, gets pregnant, there's the child. But in this material realm, it doesn't matter to the male ego, because a guy can impregnate a woman when he's in his 90s. So these people who want to subjugate you gorgeous ladies out there are doing it purely and simply on the basis that, you know, once I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, I can still get a lady, I can still produce, I can still get a lady pregnant. But once you passed your, they call it prime, don't they? But it's probably a silly word. But, you know, ladies, once they get past the sort of 50s, they're not able to have kids. So I hope that answers that question.
They call it advanced maternal age.
Oh, okay. AMA, right.
Yeah, crazy.
I was watching, I was listening to a video, I forget who it was, but somebody just said something and it just smacked me in the nose. You know how we've been talking, Harry, about the, we are the dog on the lead, and our higher self is the handler. Well, somebody said, I want to lead a normal life. I just want to lead a normal life. And I went, wow, lead a normal life. Lead. And then there was this one that somebody mentioned.
One more connection on the lead. Lead is also spelled the same as lead, right?
That's true, yeah.
And we always talk about in alchemy, we want to change. In alchemy, you want to change lead into
gold. Yeah, good catch, yeah, bro. We are batteries. We are turning the lead into gold. Yeah, good catch, good call. So this one, not just the astrological sign, but it's also a I want to be careful. It also can be a problem with one's body. Mm-hmm. And when one has this particular problem, one goes to the hospital where the doctor will cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Yeah. Cut it out, Nigel.
Precisely, bro. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop it. Right? Apparently, there's if you listen to I think it's Crow 777, Harry, talks a lot about how to actually get rid of this without having to go here, just by cutting certain things out of your diet. Your diet. Okay, now we all know what this is, right? Now, a certain person, I was watching a video, a TikTok video earlier. A certain person went to a place where you would go through one of these, and apparently had got all the correct paperwork. Let's just say, you know what I'm talking about, the correct paperwork. And walked through one of these and was told, we know that your paperwork is not genuine. Yeah, because this scanner, this guard spirit, knew that this person had not done what she said she'd done. You know, I've got to be cryptic, guys, for obvious reasons. So then I got thinking, remember this, remember these arches, the Arc de Triomphe, Arc, the Ark of the Covenant. I was talking with Kim from the Bard a few weeks ago, and she was talking about how armies would go through these before that. You know, we're talking about armies on horseback, and then charge. Well, what does charge mean? And then discharge when they come back. Well, there's a link between this. Remember, this, Harry, is this from the air. And it reminded me of that slide in your presentation where you're talking about the heart not being a pump and the roundabout.
Yeah, this is where the vortex happens. Slows down. It slows down all of the essential exchanges of the chemistry in the heart.
Yep. And then, of course, we had these things that were doing the rounds a few years ago. They were, you know, one was taken to London, and then it was taken to Washington and various other cities around the world. The Arch of Baal. These are connected, guys. I don't know why. I don't know what yet, but with your help, some of you guys watching this have got some awesome ideas, and you know, we want some help connecting the dots. But these are connected. These are connected without a shadow of a doubt. Absolute. I guarantee. I know it. I just know it in my inner being that it's connected.
So the only thing missing from that picture on the last slide, you got the not that one, but the one where you're going through the scanner. Right there. You got the glasses. You got to take that off.
Yeah.
You got the switchblade or your pocket knife. You got some money. You got a weapon, a watch, keys, and another knife. Another knife. So they're eventually gonna want a sticker.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. And then listening to Logan yesterday, I mean, he came up with this Revelation 3. Remember the 30? So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. They want us to take sides, guys. They want us to be divided. They want us to take sides. They don't care which side it is. They want us to take sides. And if Harry, you and I talk about not taking sides, about going down the middle path, which is what the biblical Jesus talked about, was the middle way.
Yeah, like the crayfish on the card.
Yeah, going down the middle path between the pillars.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you know, the one thing I forgot to mention, guys, is remember how earlier on in the slideshow I was talking about the 101. Well, there's your 101. That's what it represents. That's what the 101 represents. The two pillars with the portal. Okay. Let me just go back up. Bear with me a sec. Can't remember which slide it was, but it is important. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, the diphthong. The diphthong is the 101, and that is the diphthong or diphthong, which connects these three together. So there's a bit of esoteric stuff there for you guys to have a think about, and let us know what your thoughts are. What do you think, Harry? You got any comments?
Well, you kind of showed a brief portion of this to me yesterday, and I thought, yeah, that's the great crazy connection between all three of the numbers.
Yeah.
When you break it down into what they're coding, it's in plain sight. We do not see it. We talked about the duality. And of course, where do we hear the word duality? Is we hear it in a duel.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. I know you suggested that. I forgot to put that in. A duel with two guys standing back to back and walking away and turning around and shooting each other. Yeah.
So think about it. You got a mirror, let's say a full-length mirror in front of you, and your back is to the mirror. Well, your mirror image is the back towards you. So as you turn around, you take your 10 paces, you turn and you're supposed to fire, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at your mirror image of the guy you're dueling. And who are we dueling?
Ourselves. That's right. That's why I said at the start, hi guys, we are front. Because you got your back and your front. which again is just another way of looking at duality. The Jesus character and the Satan character. We are the same. Or Jesus and Lucifer, Jesus and Satan are one and the same. It's the two aspects of the us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when we're looking,
when
we look at a reflection of ourselves, we're really not really seeing what someone else sees. We're seeing what someone else sees. You know.
Yeah.
So when we look at that reflection, and we looked at that the xi and versus the ix, you know, I'm seeing a 9 and you're seeing an 11. And if we flip it, then we're both seeing something opposite again. So the duality isn't, like you said, a black versus white, or good versus evil. It's one truth looking at it, a different truth at the same time, simultaneously.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to say, these are our truths. My truth, when I look at it, is a 9. Your truth, when you look at it, it's an 11.
That's right.
And we're both right.
Yeah, well, this is where my friend Mike, Sherlock's apprentice, comes in, and he would turn around and say, I'm not interested in that, in what your truth is. I want to know what is the truth. Well, there isn't one, is there? There isn't one. The only truth really is that on this page there is an X and a 1, an I. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the perspective.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting that, you know, how we say that we are batteries turning lead into gold? Well, what is the grammatically? What is the difference between duality and polarity? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know, you open the hood on your car and you have a battery with a positive and negative. If you remove either of them, your car isn't going to start. It won't start unless both are connected. So they become duality, but they're also polar opposites. They're polarity. So, you know, all they've done is, in order to hide the fact that we are quote unquote batteries, they changed the word polarity to duality. Again, hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight.
And the focal point of the last video that we did is we talked about there's a variation in duality. And this is another example of it, exactly, because we're not opposites. We're more similar than dissimilar.
Yeah.
Yet we perceive things, and so it's the perspective sometimes that is the alteration of what reality is.
Well, if you know, you and I both male in this realm, if our higher self is female energy, then that is not only the duality, but it's also the polar opposite. It's also the polar, the polarity. The polarity and the duality are the same thing in that respect. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. Well, I hope we've given you something to think about. As always, we look forward to your comments. Before we go, I should probably just mention this, because I haven't mentioned it the last couple of times. The VPN that we use. If you get any problems, you know, we are talking a lot about movies, especially the Free Guy movie that Harry's going to go and watch with his kids in a minute. And there's the one particular website that we use called Flixtor, and a lot of people can't get it. It's free. Oh, I can't get it in my country. Well, you can if you use this. We've used it I've used it for the last 5 years. Absolutely brilliant. $70 a year. We get 30% off, and so do you. The link will be in the show notes along with the promo code. So there you go. Right. Anything you want to finish off with, bro, before we let these lovely people?
Well, just that tomorrow I'm going to be taking a small, quick trip.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing all about that, bro.
We've been talking about alternate realities, and so I'm going to see if I can find one of for myself. So.
And Harry, you're doing this for the benefit of the of our subscribers, for the benefit of the channel, and this is all part of your research.
Yeah. Again, something that I have at age 53 never been on before. So gonna check it out. And
Okay.
I'll give you some feedback after I have time to deduce what I think about it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can't wait, bro. I really can't wait. Can't wait. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for being with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all the new subscribers. You're gonna need to go back and watch some of our previous stuff. Bart Baby, copy and paste, Meet the Controllers, are really, really, really important podcasts, as is the Heart Is Not a Pump, the one that we've just done, the duality, the dual duality, which this is a follow-on. It's like almost like a part 2 to that one. So we'll let you go, and we will be back in a few days. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one.